Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. We have Quilts for Ukraine. We have the Secret Lives of Color number 34 and a book giveaway. And you want to stay to the end. That's where we're going to talk about the giveaway, how to get in on it, etc. We're going to start here on the back side of the table with the Secret Lives of Color from our book. We're still in the red section. And this block is called, or is the color red that the story goes with, is Rosa Corsa. And when I saw that, I thought that sounds very Italian. And it turns out it is. So that's really cool. I have my Italian friends with Aurifil thread. And so I know, sometimes words just look Italian to me now since I see this stuff. Okay, so this starts in 1907. So we're in a little bit more current sort of, years, not way back in the Middle Ages. And it has to do with a prince and a race car and a challenge that says, is it impossible to go by motor car from Peking to Paris? Well, of course, the prince thought this was quite a fun challenge, and off he went with some of the dudes that he was hanging out with, and a couple of other teams, all raced from Peking to Paris. And I bet you can guess that the prince won, and he was driving a red car, a red race car. And so at the end, they declared it, the color of that car, Rosa Corsa. The story is very cool. I love it. So now I want to show you the fabrics that I used and how I sort of fussy cut them. And then I changed my background too. So here is my block. And I have this French General fabric, and then I used this stripe. So I want to tell you a little bit, why I went with the stripe and not the other one that I showed you before, if you even remember that. So here is the French General fabric. It now is in half from where I was cutting things. I really love it. It's beautiful. It is not packed in. The design is very, very open. So which was a little bit of a challenge because I was making this medium-sized block. This is the 6-inch block, and this flower was just much too big. So I went with this little flower here, so I was able to fussy cut the other one because this is all I have. I think it was like a fat eighth, so there really was not much fabric for me to work with. And then the half square triangles were just picked from some other area rather than cutting into the gray, because if I cut into the gray, I was going to lose all the red. So I needed to sort of stay away from the gray part of that fabric. Okay, so this will go back with my French General fabric. And I originally was going to use this piece of fabric for the background, and I just decided it just did not feel right. They're two totally kind of different feels of fabric. So instead I went and used the stripe, and this is just angled stripe, so that's why it's kind of fun. All of the stripes are angled because this is printed angled. So there's the selvage, so it's printed angled, and that way it gives you a fun look versus them going regular horizontal and vertical stripes. Okay, you can see over here then, this is what I had out to kind of audition as I was going along. I have all the other reds picked with their companion backgrounds. So I'm ready to sew. So now we're going to go and look at the Quilts for Ukraine. I'm going to show you my top and give you some other updates. My quilt for Ukraine is now, the top is totally finished. Da-da-da-da-da. I am hopefully going to be able to take a picture outside. It has been raining and then wet and then raining and wet. But anyways, so I am ready to hang it up on my clothesline to get a final picture, do the backing, and then send it off to the spa, which is the Long Armor, so Judy can quilt it for me and send it back. So that is where mine is. So today I'm wearing my little sunflower bracelet that I was given. Thank you. So I want to tell you some other things about Ukraine. The fundraising drive, we are at $228,891.30. There have been donations from 24 countries, and it's been viewed by 64 countries, including Ukraine. And I also was left a note by Svetlana, who is a Ukrainian quilter, in a comment on one of the YouTubes. So if you go to my website today, I have a screenshot of that so that you can read the note that she left us. It's just amazing that she took the time to be able to leave a note for us, seeing all that she must be going through. I just, I'm just overwhelmed. And overwhelmed by your generosity. It is just amazing, amazing, amazing. 228,000. Ah, crazy, crazy, crazy. We have to get to 250. Yeah, we're going to keep going. Okay, I have an update from the Quilted Twins, Rachel and Becky. I just want to show you what they've been up to, so let's take a look. Becky and Rachel of the Quilted Twins website. A lot of you know about this project that they did to collect quilts to send to Becky, who is living in Poland, so she can get them out to the Ukrainian refugees. Their campaign lasted 7 weeks and it is now finished. So all of the quilts have been shipped, and they've done a couple of articles over at their blog, which are just amazing. So these are a few pictures of the one article that Becky shared, and I just, it's amazing, isn't it? So Becky found out, or her husband did, when he was at one of the drop-offs near the Ukrainian border, that they actually do need bedding. So all of these quilts that were sent will be going to somebody in need. Rachel has been doing the whole project on the U.S. side down in Florida, where the shop is, and she gave a update where they had, oh my gosh, there's just so much information. They did 70 boxes, I believe. Each box weighed about 100 pounds. There were about 12,000 pounds of quilts and pillowcases. Let's see, they have about 6,000 items that they shipped. Just all super, super incredible. There's a lot more photos over at their website, but she also did give a major shout out to the president of Jaftex Fabrics, Scott Fortunoff, who helped her. Their company actually shipped and paid for the shipping of the first 31 boxes. Oh yeah, and then she shipped 79 boxes, so that's over 100 boxes. Then there were a lot of people behind the scenes that she praises, with FedEx, and then the reps in Denmark. So it is a really good read, and thank you everybody who donated, and big thanks to Rachel for getting all of this out to Becky. Now Becky still has to do her part, so on her end she will be getting things ready to donate once all those boxes start arriving. There are still lots of ways to donate your quilt. The Lutheran World Relief is still taking quilts forever and getting them to Ukraine. Right, Ukraine on your box. I have a link to that at my website and down below, where I have the information all about that at my Quilts for Ukraine page at my Sew Along website. Also, you could look for a community, place in your community where maybe the refugees are coming in, and you could donate your quilt there, or raffle it and then donate the money. Okay, let's take a look at red and white, my favorite color combination. I just got my copy of the Red and White Quilts book number 2. This is the second time they've done this collaboration book. And I am so thrilled to not only be invited to submit a red and white quilt, but mine is on the cover. There! So exciting. A collaboration book means that the publisher, which is my publisher, Martingale, asks a group of designers to all submit. So there's a whole group of people who are writing this, and the publisher is organizing it. They come up with a theme. They come up with the quilt sizes. They may, when they ask you to submit, say, could you add some applique, or we don't need any applique, or no foundation, or yes, we would like foundation. They have some criteria. So they're sort of the organizers of the book. So we all submit our sketches, and the reason we do that is so that you don't have quilts that are too similar, and they want to check like sizing, so that if they've told you all wall hangings, that you don't have all the exact same size, that kind of a thing. And here, these are mostly lap quilts or very large wall hangings. That was our criteria. And red and white. Now, I am hugely inspired by the red and white quilt exhibit that I saw many years ago, which is now part of the Nebraska Quilt Museum collection. It's just been something that's always just stuck with me for, it's, you know, I've always loved red and white, as you know, but after seeing that exhibit, it was like, oh, perfection. So I was sort of channeling that when I drew mine, and I wanted something with a little more oomph to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through here and show you all of these, and then at the end I will tell you how that you can be someone who might get one of these from me, and I will sign mine on my page, and I'm going to give away 5 of these today. Well, not exactly today, but over the next few days. But today is when you can enter. Okay, let's take a look. The books just, they're so well done. Beautiful, beautiful, great directions. Okay, so I'm going to just flip through the pages so that we can take a look at what's in here. There's always, you know, some sort of beautiful close-ups, and they do close-ups every so often. Here's the preface that tells you about it from my friend Jennifer Keltner, who is the chief officer there. So this is Susan Ackes. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And here it is. Look at this. And she loves Scrappy, so it does have some multiple reds in it, which is really nice. And then, you know, all the directions. Now this one is a vintage piece from Jody Sanders, who has been the American Patchwork and Quilting magazine editor and a friend of mine for many years. So she has lots of antique quilts. So this is actually an antique quilt. I love that they've mixed in. There's another one in here too. So there you can see the whole thing. Here is from Jessica, read it upside down. Yeah, Jessica Dayan. And hers is gorgeous. It's the other one on the front. So look at that. It's just so beautiful, that large and small size stars. I love how that turns out. And the red background is just, now I want to do a quilt just like this. Red background and white. I believe that's just red and white. It's not scrappy. Oh, so awesome. Okay, this one is from my friend Helen Stubbings, who is in Australia. And so the pattern name is called Tickety Boo, and so she tells you why, and it's got amazing quilting on it. And that little touch of applique for all of you. Well, a lot of applique. String of Hearts is from Jerry Robinson. I know a lot of you follow Jerry and know about her quilts. Whoops. So there's the hearts. Look at that. Look how cool that is. With two, it looks like a string of hearts, doesn't it? That is so neat. Okay, the Ruby Stars from Lisa Bongine, and Lisa does lots of wonderful small patchwork, and these feathered stars, it's just gorgeous. The quilting on that one, look at that, the texture on there. And you can really see it. They do such great photography at Martingale, so you can always see, like there's a detail up close of the quilting. And then here's the full quilt, the feathered star. It's a wonderful, feather stars are just so neat. The next one is Feather Your Nest by Debbie Roberts. And this one, wait, so let me show you there. I think this is so spectacular. Also, well, they have it on the bed here in this picture. The applique border, I've not done that in a long time. Patchwork in the middle and an applique border, it is so effective. Okay, there's a full picture of it. This is another vintage quilt, actually from the editor Jennifer Keltner, who is the publisher of the book of the Martingale. There we go. Isn't that wonderful? She called it Oh My Stars. We know that name, don't we? There it is, full version, vintage quilt. Double Take is by my buddy Lisa Alexander. Look how cool that is. That is a neat, neat block. And I love the alternating with the shoe fly. There we go. See our shoe fly today? Yep, same block. Just a couple of more. They are so worth it. Nancy Martin, who has been around forever in the industry. She has done so many fabulous designs, and hers is more scrappy. So you can see there in the close-up, lots of different fabrics for those of you who love that. Very cool design. I love it. Okay, another vintage one, which is a rolling, the Rolling Stone block. That is gorgeous. Also, once again, very just red and white, which is you know, that's when I went to the red and white exhibit. What really attracted me is like it was very, very red and white. You know, you didn't really go veering off and have a little turquoise or anything like that. Strictly red and white was in that collection. And here is mine, Soul Sisters. I can't wait to get it back. I don't have it back yet, but I will show you when it gets here. It is not as it looks like it might be hard, but it's not. I have it broken down. It is on point, and there are border parts to do. Everything is on point, but the blocks themselves are really simple. It's just an illusion of complexity. So it is not at all complex, but doesn't that, yeah, I can't wait to get it back. I'm going to hang it in my living room. And I believe there's one or two more. Yeah, two more. Here is from Sherry McConnell. You all love Sherry. I know you do. This is a beautiful one. Well, she used a lot of different fabrics. Maybe you can see that in there. I'll show you the full. There's the full one. So she has a lot of different fabrics. And I believe there's one more, which is also with a lot of different fabrics. Let me see, who is this one by? Karen Stiles. This also has a lot of different fabrics in it. And you can then see why it'll work when you just, I think sometimes more is better. Like if you just make 3 and maybe it won't blend so well, but if you got, 20, it looks super fantastic. This book is a must-have if you are, really loving red and white quilts. You will be just in your prime with this one. So you can go to my website today and leave a comment. So you have to leave it at my website. That's the only place I'm doing that. If you're international, you can get a digital copy, and I will give away 5 of these physical copies with a signature. I will sign my page on my quilt. Also, you're going to make your Secret Lives of Color block, Rosa Casa. Zoom, zoom, right? And thank you everybody for all your wonderful donations for Ukraine. It is amazing. I'm going to be sending my quilt out now to get it quilted. Judy's going to do that for me. I haven't told her yet, but it's going to the spa to get quilted. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.